grouping of trees between the car, between the highway and the houses. I mean, it's certainly a good question. Where did she go? What direction did she go? And how did she get away? It's just, I think, a much simpler explanation than somebody abducting her is she just walked away. Jeremy Petros says she only could have walked off. No way a car is making it in there. And let me show you again. That is the side of the road. That's roughly where she pulled off, right here. I mean, a car is not going to probably be driving up there. So Ronald Kane says, I am throwing this out, but maybe a police officer who pulled up behind her did something to her with her. I don't know if it would be interesting to see a police body cam footage. Maybe there is body cam footage. I mean, if the police car pulled up behind the car, I would think there'd be police car footage of the scene. I don't know if we'll end up seeing the if we'll end up seeing the body cam footage or hear the 911 call. Me Josh says, in all honesty, she might have had a breakdown. And look, let me say this again. Right now, the police say they never found a toddler. They say they've gotten, no toddler was reported missing. As far as I'm aware, the police, nobody else reported a toddler missing. So the best explanation for all those facts is that there actually was no toddler. And if you just look at the video from the scene here, WBRC via Philip Lewis, I mean, there's cars driving by there on the highway. That's the night she pulled over. That's her car right there. If there was really a toddler walking along the highway, I would think maybe odds were good that somebody else would have seen the toddler. So, I mean, to me,
scene here on I-459 near John Hawkins Parkway in Hoover. On Thursday evening, police say Carlee called 911 saying a toddler was walking down the side of the interstate. After calling police, she stopped to get the child and called a family member. When police arrived, they found her car and belongings nearby, but no sign of her or the child. Family members now on the search for Carlee, her parents desperate for her return.
To keep applying the pressure to keep this thing going. We really want this to blow up. We want the word of the day to be Carlee. We just want to have her back home safe.
Now, law enforcement, local organizations, and Anaya Blanchard's mom, Angela Harris, also helping out with this search.
As soon as I woke up this morning and saw the Facebook post, I immediately reached out to the family and to friends. Like, how can I help? And knowing that the situation is very serious and knowing what this family's going through, I just came immediately.
Now, her parents tell WVTM that she was last seen wearing all black and white Nike shoes. They are also putting this flyer up in Hoover and surrounding areas. In Hoover, Patsy Douglas, WVTM 13.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.
An urgent search tonight for Carlee Russell, the 25-year-old vanishing last night along Interstate 459 in Hoover.
The search is starting immediately last night and continuing into today. By land and sky, crews are working as hard as they can to find her. Right now, a $25,000 reward is being offered. And as police continue to search, we are bringing you team coverage from all angles of this story.
Yeah, as you can imagine, her family is distraught. Carlee's mom and dad holding out hope, knowing their daughter is a fighter.
If it's a chance for her to put up a fight to try to save her life, she's going to do everything she can to put up a fight. So we're asking that the community, again, people even in other states, to do the same thing. If you can please spare any time, if you'll just go to gas stations, hotels, just anywhere.
Can't imagine what they're going through right now. WVTM 13's Lisa Crane is anchoring our coverage tonight.
And she gets us started this evening. Lisa, what do we know about this case and how it all unfolded?
Well, we know 25-year-old Carlee Russell called 911 last night at about 9:30. She had left work, was on her way home. She said there was a toddler walking alone on the side of 459. She hung up with 911 and then she called a relative. Now, at that point, we believe that she got out of her car to check on the child, thinking that police would be there at any time. Her relative said she heard Carlee scream, and then while it seemed Carlee dropped her phone, the connection continued. When police arrived, they found Carlee's vehicle, her cell phone, and personal items, but no Carlee and no child.
A single witness has reported possibly seeing a gray vehicle with a light-complected male standing outside of Carlee's vehicle, but we have no further information on that individual or the vehicle at this time.
Time she went missing, time we heard that scream, and so many people started helping look for her. We've been from here to Tuscaloosa to Mississippi.
Just checking hotels,
gas
stations, just asking around.
Truck stops.
Now, the family organized searches throughout the night and all day today. They had folks meet at the Hoover Met. Many strangers, friends, and relatives, volunteers there to help out today. Janice Robertson has that part of the story for us.
Here in Hoover, there has been a lot of attention focused on finding 25-year-old Carlee Russell, but not just in the Birmingham Hoover Metro, across the state and country. This case is drawing a lot of attention. Now, a lot of people showed up to the Hoover Met hoping to help find her. This is the flyer that they've been giving out. Now, close friends, family members, and even strangers, all dedicated trying to find out where she is. I had a chance to speak with some of her close friends and families about why this is so important. Take a listen.
This is the second wave, and it's hotter than it was earlier. I mean, it's later than it was earlier, and to see the number from earlier grow like this, it just speaks to the kind of friend and person that she is.
The numbers are here, and we are so appreciative. We really thank everybody that has come out to help us search for Carlee, and the hashtag is Let's Find Carlee.
Now, although they may have gone home for the day, they're still not giving up in hopes of finding her. They will be back out tomorrow morning, starting at 8 o'clock at the Hoover Met again, looking for Carlee Russell. In Hoover, I'm Janice Robertson, WVTM 13.
All right, Jarvis, thank you very much. Well, Angela Harris has been helping out during the search. Her name might sound familiar. She is the mother of Anaya Blanchard, and her child, Anaya, disappeared and was later found murdered in 2019. Carlee Russell's parents say having her there has been helpful and comforting.
Well, my heart's breaking, first of all. And as soon as I woke up this morning and saw the Facebook post, I immediately reached out to the family and to friends, like, how can I help? And knowing that the situation is very serious and knowing what this family's going through, I just came immediately to do whatever I can to be supportive and also search if need be. It's going to be tough, I'm not going to lie, but we're going to do everything we can.
Now, if you have missed anything, you can find it all on the free WVTM 13 app. You can watch the news conference in full there. Everything we know about this case is there on the homepage. Live in Hoover, Lisa Crane, WVTM 13.
Again, if you know anything about Carlee Russell's disappearance, please call police.
There is a $25,000 reward for any information, and you can remain anonymous.
Okay, it says, update, missing Alabama woman Carlee Russell found alive and safe. Hoover police received a 911 call that she returned home Saturday night. Taylor Lang, I guess this is her article. Carlee Russell has been found alive and safe, according to Hoover police. At 10:45 p.m., Hoover police said they received a call that Carlee returned home to her residence. Police responded to the scene to investigate this latest development in the case. Hoover fire medics responded to the scene to assess Carlee and transported her to a local hospital for evaluation. We will keep you updated as soon as more information becomes available. Police in Hoover are investigating reports of a missing woman after they received a call from her stating she saw a toddler on the interstate Thursday night. It happened around 9:34 p.m. on Interstate 459 south near the John Hawkins Parkway exit. Carlee Nicole Russell, 25, was on her way home from her job at the Woodhouse Day Spa in the Summit and was about 10 minutes from her house, according to her parents, Talitha and Carlos Russell. The Hoover 911 center received a call from Carlee Russell stating a toddler was walking on the side of the interstate. Carlee Russell then stopped to check on the child and called a family member, according to police. The family told investigators that they lost contact with her, but the phone line remained open. So that means she never hung up. The family member never hung up. They could still hear everything. When police arrived, they found Carlee Russell's car and belongings, but there was no sign of her or a toddler. Carlee Russell was last seen wearing black shirt, black pants, and white Nike shoes, according to police. Her parents said her hair is in tight braids. On Saturday, police released this updated photo of Russell, which they say is how her hair would have looked the night of her disappearance. I know not this photo. He said tight braids. Family gathered to search for Carlee Russell Friday morning at the Hoover Met and are asking for help. We're just gonna scour the earth, said Carlee Russell's dad, Carlos Russell. There's no stopping us. Her parents noted that there is a report from a trucker who said they saw her car with the door open and a gray vehicle had pulled in front of it. The Russells also say they believe that the child was used as bait in order to lure Carlee out of her car. Video below, Carlee Russell's family describes her. So it just goes on and give the information. If you have any information, give the phone number and everything. But they say they found her. But that's strange. They say she showed up to her home. I heard reports that they found her at a Red Roof Inn and then transported her to the hospital. I don't understand. I'm still doing some digging because this news article right here did not state that she's been found. Latest person, let me see what this one's gonna say, if anything.
That come to the Hoover Met to support the Russell family and continue the search for Carlee Russell, who went missing Thursday evening.
Carlee, if you hear us,
Kennedy Sperling couldn't hold in her emotions for her best friend, who has now been missing for 2 days. The Hoover Met was the central location for people to pick up flyers to pass around the community and unite in prayer, with the goal of bringing Carlee safely home.
Today we just want to focus on just hope and faith and just trusting God. That's how we're feeling today. We are hopeful, we are faithful that God, like she said, has the final say, and that's what we're holding on to.
Dakota and Kennedy have been best friends with Carlee for over 10 years, and they tell me Carlee brings joy wherever she goes.
she gets up every day, does things that make her happy. She gets up and loves to make other people smile and make other people laugh. She's a big jokester. Sometimes we're like, Carlee, let's be serious kids, and she's like, why? She just is just a lover of life. So
Both best friends say the support from the community is uplifting them and other family and friends. The reward amount to help bring Carlee safely home has increased to nearly $60,000. An anonymous source offered $20,000 to the $5,000 raised by Crime Stoppers. Keller Williams Realty added an additional $25,000, and individual donors have contributed over $8,000. Jennifer Toomer with Keller Williams Realty believes anything can be the key to bringing Carlee home.
The smallest thing can be instrumental in bringing her home. So we can bring money, we can bring manpower, we can bring social media, we can bring meals, we can bring advertising.
Of course, if you have any information, you are encouraged to call Crime Stoppers. That number is 205-254-7777. In Hoover, Courtney Chandler, CBS 42 News.
So this article says, I mean, all of what was before this is like the same stuff we've been reading. But this one says a 25-year-old woman in Alabama who was reported missing on Thursday night after telling 911 dispatcher that she saw a toddler walking along the side of an interstate and would pull over to help was found late Saturday, according to the police. The woman, Carlee Russell, showed up at her family's front door on Saturday night, knocked, and was greeted by her stunned relatives, said Nicholas Derzies. Sorry if I butchered that. Or Derzay, I don't know, Derzies. The police chief in Hoover, a suburb of Birmingham, he said he was not sure how Miss Russell got there, but nobody was with her and when she arrived. She was taken to a hospital for evaluation. Her return ended a sprawling statewide search that had captured national attention and caused widespread speculation about what might have happened before her disappearance. The circumstances of her sudden vanishing remained unclear early Sunday morning. The case began on Thursday night when Ms. Russell told the dispatcher about the child around 9:35 p.m., called a family member to report the same details, and then pulled over on I-459 south near mile marker 11 to check on the toddler, the Hoover Police Department said. So it goes on to say the same stuff we've been reading. Like, this is the NewYorkTimes.com article. I'm just reading different articles, but I have not yet to find one single video. I only see it in print, but not one single video saying that she's been found. Any family members saying this. So I'm going to keep looking, y'all.
Was driving down I-459 around 9:30 Thursday night when she called 911 to report seeing a child along the highway. She also called her sister-in-law to report that she was going to stop after she saw that child. Now, before she stopped, she was telling her sister-in-law that she saw the kid, and she pulled over. She got out of the car, and suddenly her sister-in-law said that she heard her scream, and then there was silence. Carlee hasn't been seen or heard from since then. That was Thursday night, and police say one witness said that they saw someone in a gray vehicle, a man near that area. We're still working to get details on that, but what you're looking at right now is video of what we believe or could be Carlee's car the night of all of this happening on I-459 and mile marker 11. The car you see at the distance with the flashers on, we believe that to be her car. And the police here pulling up a few minutes later on the scene. This has been an incredible story, just knowing that this young lady is alive at this time. And this is the video that WBRC obtained from traffic cameras the night that Carlee Russell was said to have disappeared off of I-459 at mile marker 11. Again, tonight, the community elated. This was earlier today as search crews came together at the Hoover Met to look for her. Her mother and father telling WBRC that they were overwhelmed with the outpouring of support that they have received from their family, friends, and even strangers. Her mother telling us people were just coming up to her, hugging her to let her know that they could not sit at home while her baby was missing, and they were going to help her in any way that they could. You can see Anaya Blanchard's mother there on top of that truck. She joined in on this search to help with all of this. She said she was angry about the alert system in our state, because it is pretty much non-existent for people like Carlee Russell who go missing, adults. And she tonight confirming to us, before we got all of the updates from police, that Carlee had been found and returned home, and now she is at UAB Hospital being cared for and evaluated. This is incredible. Take a look at this video here earlier from some of the neighborhoods that our house. This is the house of the neighborhood where Carlee returned home. Minutes after she was found, after she returned there, you can see the police lights in the distance. Hoover police confirming to WBRC they received a phone call around 10:45 that she had returned home. Fire department showed up, police showed up, of course, to look her over, see how she was doing. They took her to UAB Hospital, where she is being evaluated right now. Taylor Pollock is there at the scene.
So I just have a question about this part right here. So they say you see the lights in the distance. This is minutes after she reportedly returned home to her family. So I'm assuming that there's been news crews outside their home for days now. So I don't know how this subdivision or neighborhood or whatever is set up. But you mean to tell me, out of all of those cameras out there, nobody's seen her driving up, walking up? Because they said they don't know how she got there when they opened the door. They didn't run outside after hugging her and greeting her to see who dropped her off, how'd she get there. They didn't ask any questions. And again, the news crew didn't see anybody pulling up, anybody walking up barefoot with shoes on, anything. I don't know. I'm just glad she's home safe, but these are just some questions I have, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other people have questions and speculations as well. So let's continue the video.
We have our crews there speaking with family. Taylor Pollock saying that she spoke to a friend who just says she's happy to have her home. And that has been the message throughout the duration of these last 48 hours. People just wanted Carlee Russell to be returned home alive and safe, and that is the most important detail that we can give you tonight, that she is home right now. The community coming together, the outpouring of support that I have witnessed from this community, the news media, everyone joined in on making sure that everyone saw Carlee Russell's picture, everyone knew who to look for, and it has been ongoing 24/7 around the clock. And the community so proud of the outpouring of support that this family has received, and they have said the support they have received has been overwhelming for them. Her mother, listening to her and her father remain strong and lean on their faith in all of this as they continued to look for her. Again, it's been 48 hours. She went missing Thursday night, and here we are tonight, a little bit after, what time is it now, y'all? After midnight, and we're giving you this wonderful news that she has returned home. She is being evaluated, but the most important detail is that she is alive and is being evaluated right now. Now, I am being told that we have a crew in the neighborhood at her house where she returned, and we're going to go to them in just a few minutes. But again, Angela Harris, who is Anaya Blanchard's mother, were confirmed to us about all of this. And let's go now to our own anchor, WBRC anchor, Janice Rogers. Janice, can you tell me where you are and what you know about all of this so far?
Hey, Brittany, I am at home, actually, at this moment. We had ridden over to where Carlee Russell lives. I'm back home now. But I'd been talking to Angela Harris, as you mentioned, about this case tonight, what she knew, if she had any information about some of the rumors we were hearing. And I said, well, certainly if you learn anything, please call us and let us know. And she called me right before 11 o'clock and said that she was crying on the phone, saying that they had found her, that she was alive. Again, like you had already reported, she'd been dropped off at her family's home, and that they were that she appeared to be in shock, and that they were going to take her to UAB Hospital, which we now know that they did. But just hearing Angela cry, as most of our viewers will know, Angela Harris, Anaya Blanchard's mother, who sadly had gone through this, but her daughter ended up being murdered and not coming home. But she had been helping this family through their concern of trying to find their daughter over the past couple of days. And she's the one who told us about it tonight. that she indeed is alive, but in shock as she described it.
Absolutely. Janice, you said that she was dropped off at her house. Do you know more about that?
I don't at this point, and Angela did not either. But the fact that she was dropped off at her house, that was pretty surprising, and you can only imagine the relief among her family, the neighbors who had held that vigil that we all saw this week, yesterday, to try to bring her back. So, you'd been talking about it, a lot of prayers. People really were engaged in this story, and regardless, it doesn't matter what happened. We'll learn the details later of why she disappeared, what happened to her. But right now, the relief is that she's alive and she's back with her family.
Absolutely, Janice. Thank you so much. And again, that is the most important detail. 25-year-old Carlee Russell has returned home. She is being evaluated at UAB Hospital. She is alive, and that is the most important detail of this entire story. We will keep you updated. The next update will be at 5 on our morning newscast. We thank you for joining us tonight, and we definitely are very glad that Carlee Russell is home tonight. Thank you.
This has been a WBRC Breaking News Alert.
Okay, so what do y'all think? Some people probably don't want to talk about it. It's probably, sensitive to some people. Some people probably like, it doesn't matter. She's home safe. I want to know. I'm glad she's home safe, and I'm glad she's alive. I'm glad all of that. But it's a lot of holes in this story. It's a lot of holes in this story. I just want to know. Like, this has been all over the news, all over social media. Even if you don't watch the news on social media, you done heard about it somewhere. Unless your grandma 99, 100 years old, and she don't talk to nobody. She probably still buy the newspaper, so she probably seen it in the newspaper. Everybody has heard about this Carlee Russell gone missing story. So, whoever dropped her off, they didn't recognize her. Did she look disheveled, or whatever the word is, and just hair everywhere, clothes ripped, or did she look fine? And when they saw her, did they recognize her and say, oh, you're the one that they've been looking for of the news? Why didn't the driver call 911? Did the driver ask any questions? Did she really get dropped off by a stranger? Because a lot of people don't just pick up anybody off the side of the road. I mean, I understand if there really was a toddler walking on the side of the road, why she would stop. I would stop too. But after seeing this, I wouldn't get out my darn car. After I put my car in park, it automatically unlocks. I lock it right back. I do that today. But I would stay in the car, try to block the child off with my car, call 911, and try to stay there safely in my car. But my question is, was there ever a child? Maybe there's something mentally going on here. Maybe she was seeing things and thought she saw a child and got out the car. Is the family going to come out and say that? And that's probably, a HIPAA situation. It's private. If she has any mental issues, we don't know this. These are just questions we're asking. Did she see an animal? Was there a baby bear? And since it was so dark, it looked like a little toddler walking or something. And there was a lot of other cars passing by. Nobody else saw this so-called toddler walking with all of these headlights going that way. She's the only one that saw. Because when you look in the video, there's a lot of other cars on that interstate driving by. We've seen videos where children was found wandering in the street and walking on a highway before, and there's at least 3, 4, 5 cars that pull over. We've seen it. So I want to know what questions you guys have, and what you think happened. I see some people in the comment section here on this live saying it's a hoax and just to get clout and attention. It's not far-fetched, because we've seen people do this before. We've seen people fake their disappearance, fake their death, fake all kind of stuff. Not saying that this is the case. We just have questions. Either way, if her parents knew nothing about what was going on, I'm just glad they're at peace now and they got their daughter back. Because I could imagine how they were feeling, not knowing where she was, if she was safe, if she was alive, etc., etc., etc. See, do y'all remember this video right here? Just a few examples. Let me fast forward it.
I think
It's a couple cars that pulled over that found the baby on the side of the road.
I remember this guy.
And this is daytime. It was that lady and
here?
somebody else.
You live
I think a black lady. So the white female lady and the black lady found the baby. Now, here is one where cars are driving by and there's a baby. Maybe they don't notice the baby. Well, not a baby, but a toddler.
What a heart-stopping moment. Up ahead is a toddler wandering by himself on a highway as a tractor-trailer
He's not
whizzes
even
by.
looking before
It's
he's
a
running
tragedy
in the
waiting
road.
to happen until a police sergeant happens along.
Out of the corner of my eye, I initially thought it was a dog at large about to run into the street. Trying to corral a 1-year-old boy running
See,
across
he said
59.
he thought it was a dog
Naperville,
in his
Illinois Police
peripheral.
Sergeant Anthony Menino got out of his car and blocked all traffic behind him.
Hey! 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 Come here! I was praying to God he wouldn't make a left turn and enter that lane of traffic.
Within seconds, the toddler was safe and sound.
You're okay. You're okay. How you doing?
So, I don't know.
What's your name?
There was no crying,
I got
there
a
was
lot
no
of
sense of
questions.
distress. Just looked like a curious
That's
kid
all.
running down.